At 0115 hours on June 6, 1944, Major Friedrich von Dye stood at the window of his command post near Carrington and listened to something that made his blood run cold. The sky above the Cotton Peninsula was filled with the drone of aircraft engines, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. The sound came from everywhere at once, a low mechanical thunder that seemed to swallow the night itself. Vanderet was a veteran. He had jumped into Cree in 1941. He had fought in North Africa with the Ramkey Brigade. He had seen combat on the Eastern Front. Nothing had prepared him for what was about to happen. Within the next 3 hours, more than 13,000 American paratroopers would fall from that black sky. They would land in fields, in flooded marshes, on rooftops, in trees, and in the middle of German positions. They would arrive scattered, disorganized, many without their weapons, and they would terrify, Thie remarked, in ways that no military planner had anticipated. What von Dye did not know, what no German officer could have predicted, was that the very chaos of this airborne assault would become its greatest weapon. The Americans were not landing in neat formations. They were landing everywhere, and that single word of everywhere would appear again and again in German reports, diaries, and interrogation transcripts over the following weeks. The German officers who survived Normandy would write about these paratroopers with something approaching hope. Some would write with fear. A few would write with the kind, half-grudging respect that soldiers reserve for enemies who have earned it. This is the story of how American paratroopers greeted a new kind of psychological warfare, not through careful planning, but through courage, adaptability, and an aggressive spirit that caught the German military machine completely off guard. The German army in 1944 was arguably the most professional fighting force in the world. Its officer corps had been trained in a tradition stretching back to Frederick the Great. German doctrine emphasized careful planning, precise coordination, and the systematic application of overwhelming force at decisive points. The VE had conquered Poland in 27 days. France fell in 6 weeks. The German military machine had rolled across Europe with a precision that seemed almost mechanical. But there was a vulnerability hidden inside this very strength. German military thinking depended on understanding the enemy. It required knowing where the enemy was, what he intended to do, and how he would try to do it. German officers were trained to read the battlefield like a chess